I can't breathe during night, especially. There are times where I can't breathe. Even when I walk, I can't walk a long distance. I feel like I'll fall down.
A toxic, hazy blanket of dirty air hangs over the horizon on the Mpumalanga Highveld. It's a silent killer, say those who live here.
We've got a problem with the air pollution here. Because we've got power stations around. More than 11 is killing us. It makes us sick.
Khehla Mahlangu has lived in Mpumalanga on the outskirts of Secunda his whole life. He had to quit his job as a manual laborer 17 years ago.
The doctor said, you are sick. This area is not good for you. Yeah, they've done the test, and then he said, hey, the problem is it's your lungs. You can't breathe clearly, it's a respiratory problem.
Polluted air contains tiny bits of dirt and harmful gases. When inhaled, they can damage your lungs, causing lung infections and even lung cancer.
What's on those dust particles is the problem. So they might carry arsenic or mercury or cadmium or one of these other heavy metals, right? Tiny, tiny, tiny amounts. And when these particles are very small and you inhale it, it goes very deep into the body.
Jeremiah Maseko has lived in Mpumalanga for 46 years. He once worked at Sasol's tar plant, but 8 years ago he began struggling to breathe.
When you inhale, you can hear your lungs that there's something that is like a sound. When you can't inhale properly. So they did the x-rays and even take me further to some specialists. And they also told me my lungs are not good.
Because the air temperature of the earth is rising, conditions could worsen for people like Khehla and Jeremiah, especially in summer.
Warming temperatures are especially a concern for people who have pre-existing diseases. So in other words, somebody who has asthma is often triggered by air pollution. But when it is very hot, a person's ability to balance the temperature out is compromised because they face this existing health challenge, which means that they may be triggered for an asthmatic attack.
Burning fossil fuels such as coal and oil, like at the Eskom and Sasol plants, releases gases into the air that add to the problem. They build up in the atmosphere and form a blanket around the earth, trapping heat.
The Sasol facility at Secunda is famous for being, I think, the largest point source of carbon dioxide in the Southern Hemisphere, but also large amounts of air pollutants, generally associated with the burning of coal.
It's a vicious cycle. The hotter the air gets, scientists say, the worse the effects of air pollution.
As temperatures are warming, the conditions are created which almost support or encourage air pollution creation. A lot of the pollutants that occur in the atmosphere are stimulated in the presence of sunlight. You're getting higher levels of pollution, and that pollution aggravates people who have respiratory diseases.
People often talk about air pollution and climate change as though they're interchangeable. As scientists, we like to distinguish between the two, but they are very linked because they have the same sources.